Delhi is an interesting team this year.
Okay. So let's start with Delhi Capitals. So they had an amazing captain and coach combination, Shreyas Iyer and Ricky Ponting, that worked really well for them in last couple of seasons. But this season with Shreyas Iyer's injury, Delhi is not the same team anymore. So yes, they have filled the captaincy and they have given the captaincy to Rishabh Pant. But that Indian middle order batsman at number 4, that void that gets created without Shreyas Iyer, it's very hard to fill by anyone else.
Absolutely. And did they choose a captain to be the yes man of Ponting? I don't know. And or it would be tough for me to unfair for me to call Rishabh Pant the yes man, but the maybe they had the other options they had were Rahane and Ashwin. But Ashwin, we know both are pretty outspoken guys. Not Rahane per se, but Ashwin definitely is. And maybe they wanted some control over what's happening. And that is where I believe they lean towards Pant. So, I interesting option, let me put it this way, because he's still untested. And both from a captaincy, he has never done this. He's going to be thrown into the cauldron. But look at this way: Shreyas Iyer also was done the same thing. He
Right.
suddenly took midway, but and he has done exceedingly well. And the responsibility brought the best out of him. And so maybe this will be a good season for Pant. As a player, he has evolved, matured a lot over the last 6 months, and maybe this will help him. And maybe on the long run, maybe this is a good thing for Team India as well. That Pant will become much more judicious behind the wickets with respect to taking the DRS as well.
Right.
And so this is a good, interesting move, and I'm pretty excited for DC this year.
Right. So, but when we see that their weakness now lies in how they fill Shreyas Iyer's void in the batting lineup, because now yes they have to play Steve Smith to fill that void, because otherwise they don't have anyone who can anchor the innings with an explosive lineup of Shaw, Dhawan, Pant, and Stoinis coming at the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was yesterday trying to put the teams together for DC, and I said, let me start with who will be there for overseas players. And the two of the four are automatic show-ins if they are available, Rabada and Enric Noche. So they definitely come in. They need to play them. They definitely need them firing, and that leaves two more spots. They have invested in Chris Wokes, so Chris Wokes can give them their all-round flexibility as well. And the fourth option, if could be Smith. Fourth option, not could be. He has to. If Shreyas was there, I would have said could be. But with Shreyas not being there, it has to be Smith or the left field. Thinking could be Sam Billings, uh, depending upon how they want to stack up their top order. But you're right, the top three, if you look at the top, they're definitely going with Shikhar and Shaw to open the innings. At number three, they need some stability. So if you're not playing Smith, then you'll have to play in Rahane. And um, so I would go with Smith there instead of Rahane. So number three has to be Smith, right? And then you have Pant. The problem comes that if you play Smith at number three and Pant at number four, you don't have anybody for five and six, proper five and six. Then you have to play Chris Wokes at number six. And if you place Chris Wokes at number six, you do not have any other Indian quality batsman who can come in at number five, or a quality all rounder after Wokes who can come in Indian quality all rounder. Then you'll have to start building your team. Now, Wokes will come at number six, then Aksar, Ashwin, and Rabada, Nortje, and Umesh Yadav or Ishant Sharma. Their balance goes topsy turvy, and that is where Ayers missing out this tournament has put a big hole for them because they do not have a quality Indian batsman. Or Rahane has to play at number six or number five, number six, which I don't. Maybe a possibility because they need to have that an Indian batsman playing somewhere. So they may want to just give Rahane a new role to play, saying that why don't you try it out number five? But that is where I'm not able to figure out who's going to play number five for them.
Right. So probably they'll go with Stoinis instead of Stokes just to strengthen the batting unit.
Stoinis instead of Smith, you mean, right? Yeah. So
Instead of Vokes.
Vokes, okay, Vokes. Yes, Stoinis instead of Vokes is also an option. But again, that is number six replacement, right?
Right.
So, or Stoinis can still play at number five. So that still will leave them an extended tail.
Right.
So they have overseas, yes, replacements. They have Stoinis, but they do not have an Indian person. So they, can this team accommodate both Smith and Rahane in the same 11? That is going to be their biggest dilemma. If not for Rahane, then they will have too many floaters playing in the team.
Right. Right. But do you see that Rishabh Pant being a captain will uh, turn out to be a boon for Prithvi Shaw, because now Rishabh Pant will play more responsibly. And fingers crossed, I hope he doesn't turn out to be the KL Rahul of Delhi Capitals. But this will allow Prithvi Shaw to play more explosive game and be the X factor for Delhi Capitals.
So this is an interesting season for Shaw. He had a very bad IPL, got dropped, and got thrown out of the Indian team, but comes back and performs amazingly in domestic season. But that's not no benchmark for an IPL for sure. So he's here to prove a point this year. So he will be gunning to prove a point to everybody that he's still that explosive player that everybody talks about. So yes, that could be an added advantage, an added motivation for him. Go ahead to go and just play shots. And I think Dhawan will be the person who will try to play out throughout the innings, and Shaw will take the aggressor route.
Right. But this season, there is opportunity for Indian pacers because Delhi has one spot for Indian pacers. And then in their contingent, they have so many options. They have Avesh Khan, they have Ishan Sharma, they have added Umesh Yadav, then they have added Lukman Meriwala. So do you think that there's opportunity for someone to prove himself?
Absolutely. I think last year they did. They I think preferred Ishant, and this year they have good competition there. So uh, yeah, I would be tempted to try out Meriwala. He's an unknown, and he has done well in domestic. So why not try him out? But I think they will start off with one of Ishant or Yadav to begin with, and depending upon how their fortunes go, and Yadav can give some little bit of big hitting ability at the end as well. So they may go with Yadav, but Avesh Khan and Meriwala definitely will get a look in.
Right. And then the Shreyas Iyer's injury will turn out to be opportunity for someone like Vishnu Vinod and Lalit Yadav, because they both had a great domestic season and they can be that 5 or 6 for Delhi Capitals this season because they have that Indian spot in the 11.
Absolutely. They because of that number five spot is still up for the grabs. So they can very well go with Lalit or Vishnu. Vishnu had I did not follow Lalit that much, but I followed Vishnu. Vishnu had a good season. I don't know what was Lalit's performance. I missed that. But Vishnu can, depending upon maybe Lalit's performance is better. I don't know, but definitely that spot between Lalit and Vishnu is where they should go because I don't think Rahane and Smith can fit in the same team.
Yes, yes. So this time their orange cap, probably one of the openers.
Yes. Or Pant. You cannot bet against Pant because Pant has proven that he just needs 20 odd balls. So if he stays for 25 balls, 30 balls, he can go for a 60, 50, 60 easily. And he can accelerate. So Dhawan and let me take a left field position here. So it has to be Shaw or Pant.
Right, absolutely. For Delhi to qualify, I think both of them have to click.
Yeah, it has to be. So Shaw or Pant, and same with bowling. It has to be Rabada needs to have another big season this year. He is the leader for bowling attack, and Rabada, if he performs, Delhi is in good position.
Right. And their MVP this season, Stoinis performed really, really well last season, but this season they might have to sacrifice him in order to accommodate some a proper batsman, probably Billings or Hetmeyer there. So do you see uh Stoinis being MVP again this season, or probably you'll pick someone like a
I still prefer Stoinis more than Hetmeyer for sure. If the equation is between Stoinis versus Hetmeyer, then Hetmeyer, even for West Indies, he did not perform very well. So I will bank Stoinis being the MVP because he brings a certain calm to the proceedings, and he can slip on those 2 overs as well, and he's a very good finisher. So yes, Stoinis for MVP.
Right. And for the emerging player, this time Delhi have so many contenders. Maybe it can be Meriwala, maybe it can be Avesh Khan, or probably it can be Lalit Yadav, Vishnu Vinod. So who do you think?
I see the batting contingent getting more chances than the bowling contingent. Uh, from a purely from a chance standpoint, so Vishnu, Vinod, or Lalit will be what the emerging players to watch out for. But Meriwala is one person who I'm pretty interested in watching, and I hope we get the chance to see him.
Right. And your points table prediction.
4-5 for them. Definitely, they are there for playoff shout. Uh, they will, if somebody needs to have a very big season between Pant, Shaw, and Rabada, all three of them, if they have an amazing season, then they will even go higher up to the table. But I think they will go head on with. I think actually this season, bunch of teams, except for MI, whom I am pretty sure that they will go into playoffs. This is for every other team, and maybe for Punjab next time when we talk, we'll talk about them. But for every other team, it's that somebody needs to have that spectacular season. But my prediction, because we are predicting. I'm going to predict that they will be at 4 or 5.
Right. So, so it's been a wonderful episode. And so far, we have discussed Mumbai, Sunrisers, Delhi Capitals, and RCB. And among these four, we see two teams qualifying for the playoffs, and that's going to be Mumbai Indians and Sunrisers. And when we discuss next four, so then we will try to figure out who the remaining two teams are going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. It was nice talking, and probably by end of the 8 conversations, I'll give you my opinion of the top four as well. And yeah, right now, as I said, I'm saying that most of the teams will fit in 4 or 5, or depending upon the two players performing. But I think, and by the time we analyze all 8 teams, we will have more clear views on who will be the top, not top four in any order, but at least the top four.